The World Bank has said that this digital evolution is going to contribute about 20% to Malaysia's GDP by 2020. It's only 2 years away. How close are you in these initiatives to getting this digital economy?
Thank you for having me here. It's my pleasure. Malaysia has always had a very strong focus towards the digital footprint and how digital innovation can drive the economic agenda for the country. We have a target of 20% by the year 2020, and we're now at 18.2%. And a lot of it is driven from across the board, from domestic companies investing as well as FDI. In fact, last year, our FDI rose by 19%, one of the highest that we've had in a long while. A lot of it is based on the back of a couple of initiatives and policies that we have taken over the last few years. One of them is the vibrancy of the startup ecosystem. And as we know, the startup ecosystem is very crucial towards driving the innovation economy. These are the people that will push the envelope on innovation. And we have had a very vibrant and a very robust startup ecosystem that has developed over the last couple of years. Yeah.
You've also had, of course, exemptions which are allowing this investment and that foreign investment coming through as well. You've got tax exemptions, you've got tax deductions. Talk us through some of those and I guess why you're seing such growth going through, particularly in this free trade digital zone that you have, the first outside China. Yeah,
that's right. So let me go back to the startup ecosystem, which I think is really, really crucial before I go on to the digital free trade zone. First of all, I think there are some natural ingredients in Malaysia that is making the startups from all over the world, Malaysian startups as well as those from all over the world, to come and ideate, incubate and grow their business in Malaysia. First, we have a natural test bed that represents many countries in ASEAN and also in emerging countries. So we've got a decent consumer base of 32 million people, highly connected, with close to 80% are active internet users, and our consumers are very familiar with Western culture, Eastern culture, Middle Eastern culture, and we have also vertical industries like oil and gas, manufacturing, plantation. So it's an ideal test bed. And the second component is about the people. You know, our Malaysians are very entrepreneurial. In fact, some of the early startups, Job Street, iProperty, or all Malaysian-based startups. So, and on top of it, with the government policies, business-friendly government policies, tax exemption. So a startup can come into Malaysia, 100% foreign equity, and able to set up business. To set up a company in Malaysia takes 2 weeks. There are tax exemptions, even if if you are a startup, there are tax exemption available. And there's also a policy that we introduced last year, which was the Malaysian Tech Entrepreneur Program, which allows for a residence pass. If you're a technopreneur, allows you to come in on a 5+5 residence pass. And if you are just a bright young mind somewhere from all over the world and you want to come in and ideate your business plan and your idea in Malaysia and just incubate it, we also give a 1-year professional visit pass before you go onto the 5+5.
Lots of incentives there. You did talk about active internet users. I know the big story of the day, of course, in the tech world is this data breach by Facebook. We don't want to talk about Facebook specifically, but you used to work at Microsoft. This sort of, I guess, PR handling is really in focus too of how Facebook has done this. How does companies like this win back trust, and does this, I guess, prelude to the fact that we might need stricter regulations in cybersecurity?
Well, I think the world is catching up on this. Data is it's the world of data, number one. The internet also has evolved from a platform of just information sharing to a platform of building trust. So how do you build trust? Not only about the trust in data repository, but also trust of transaction. And that is why we have technologies that's coming onto play, the blockchain technology and so on. So I think the whole world is catching up towards addressing how data is being handled. But it's a very critical layer.
Yeah, certainly, I guess, with these users that have been affected, something that perhaps they were not aware of when they signed up to a lot of these apps. You were talking about some of these incentives. You know, we have this digital free trade zone in Kuala Lumpur. Do you see Malaysia competing with the likes of Shenzhen and Silicon Valley?
I think the digital free trade zone is really leveraging off what we see as how the global trade is being redefined. E-commerce will be the commerce. There's no longer e-commerce because commerce will called BE. And we have a very big population of micro entrepreneurs or SMEs in Malaysia. 98% are micro enterprises. And our vision is to really make them natively digital. And once you are natively digital, you should be natively global. So the Digital Free Trade Zone has got two major outcomes. The first one is to have our SMEs. We already have 2,000 SMEs who are onboarded, and they are now selling across first the Alibaba platform, because they are our catalytic partner. They have also a very similar vision, which is called the Electronic World Trade Platform, the EWTP. So we have 2,000 of them coming on board, already on board, and by this year we want it to be 10,000 SMEs.